Every time Apple holds one of their events to show off their newest products and features, I can't help but wonder if it would finally be the time that they'll reveal an ergonomic keyboard to help prevent carpal tunnel syndrome or tendonitis from people who type at the computers. But no, not this year. Instead, they just revealed their new super thin MacBook along with the Apple Watch. Which is ushering in a cashless society, and which, according to some reports, may only have a battery life of 3 hours. All right. But maybe Tim Cook, instead of developing an Apple anal probe or whatever kind of device that they're working on for next time, maybe they need to help people prevent tendonitis and carpal tunnel by perhaps revealing an ergonomic keyboard. You can buy external ergonomic keyboards for your devices. Here's one. Here is another popular one from Microsoft. But instead, Apple has focused on making their devices thinner and thinner. Remember the trend back in like the early 2000s when smartphones, or cell phones at that time before smartphones, it would just be smaller and smaller every year. Smaller, smaller, smaller. And then finally the trend has reversed itself now where they're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So maybe we can shame or convince Apple and other manufacturers to, instead of just making the Apple laptops and other laptops thinner and smaller, perhaps you could easily incorporate an ergonomic keyboard. It can't be that difficult to adjust the current keys on the computer system to maybe, make them at least fit the person's hands a little bit more so that they don't tend to get carpal tunnel and tendonitis. Tim Cook, you moron! It's just incredible. By the way, I mean, people who are watching this, let me just give you a couple ergonomic tips, because you're either watching this on a smartphone, tablet type of the device, which means you probably have text neck. You're probably staring at it. It's a new epidemic. I've warned about this for years, and check my previous video on my personal chiropractic miracle. But just do a quick search for text neck, because you probably have it. Most people are getting it. And if you're sitting at a laptop, or a desktop rather, at home, you're probably sitting slouched over like this guy, unless you are aware of the proper ergonomics demonstrated here. So I urge everybody to get an external ergonomic keyboard. You can just get one from Amazon.com for $35 here, and also to get an external monitor stand and to adjust your monitor to the proper height so that you're not going to grow up to be a hunch. Which unfortunately is what most people are turning into, basically. So just putting this out there, maybe we can share this video and we can urge Apple to delay their Apple anal probe device or whatever it is that Tim Cook's having them work on these days. Maybe instead of getting smaller and smaller and smaller laptops, we could actually have them. It wouldn't be that difficult to simply incorporate a keyboard that could adjust and slide around to actually incorporate ergonomics. And if you're new to ergonomics, if you don't know, and maybe a lot of people when they're younger don't really think about these things, but unfortunately, many of you will start to develop tendonitis or carpal tunnel from repetitive stress injuries from simply typing at the computer. So it's time that laptop manufacturers incorporate this into their device. And how about a sliding, rising monitor as well, so that people aren't hunched over? It wouldn't be that difficult to just incorporate some sort of an extension device so that the monitor portion of the laptop can be raised perhaps a foot or so. Very simple, very necessary design features that are long overdue. And it just goes to show that despite how creative and how cutting edge Apple and other tech companies are with their engineering marvels, that their thinking hasn't gotten outside of the basic box of the straight, uncomfortable, torturous, really health crippling keyboard that we're all unfortunately so familiar with. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you're new to my work, you have to check my previous video on my chiropractic miracle. Really my most important YouTube video that I have ever made. So just search the playlist or just search YouTube for that video. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of the previous videos in the playlists and stay tuned. There's more videos coming soon.